Hey guys, Smelling Roses here. Today I'm on the west side of the Blue Ridge Mountains, just north of the town of Glasgow. The Belle Cove Trail actually connects Highway 501 north of the town of Glasgow with the Appalachian Trail up near Hellgate Ridge. However, the trail is officially closed and has been abandoned by the Forest Service. It's no longer being maintained. The primary reason for that is that the trail sustained major damage in some flooding. In the summer of 1995, a week-long period of sustained heavy rain caused major flooding throughout this area and some pretty significant landslides as well. You can see off in the distance there, Peak 2439, known locally here as the Pinnacle. It's one of the steepest mountains in Virginia. It's not very high elevation, just over 2,400 feet at the summit, but it ranks among the top 50 steepest mountains in Virginia. Those very steep slopes combined with the heavy rain back in 1995 caused a major landslide on the western flank of Pinnacle, and it pretty much destroyed a large section of the Belle Cove Trail. Immediately following the landslide, the trail was closed and it never reopened. Today we're just going to go up the west side of Pinnacle and look for the remains of the old landslide. Well guys, that's Belle Cove Branch just down there. You can see we have this other stream here coming down the mountain, and I believe this is the base of the landslide. You can see massive piles of rocks and debris here. That's obviously quite different than the prevailing terrain that we've been hiking in. So I was following the creek up through there, but this little gorge just kept getting narrower and narrower and just increasingly more difficult. You can see there's a big down tree. Too difficult down there, so I climbed up here and we're going to sort of flank the side of this creek. The landslide occurred up in that area. Alright guys, well this is it. And the camera is not going to do justice to how steep this is. As I mentioned, this mountain is in the top 50 steepest mountains in Virginia. So it looks like it's going to be time to crawl like a baby and pray for some good footing. Let's try to climb up this rock. Would not want to be up here in wet or icy conditions for sure. Either way, we're going to exercise extreme caution. Woo. See if we can get up a little higher. Alright guys, this mountain is steep. You can see there was mostly all fours climbing up this rock face. And you can see behind me the pine trees are starting to get even thicker. So I'm not sure how much farther up I will go, even though I actually believe I'm only about halfway up the original slide. But, you know, with more than 2 decades of time, these little pine trees are starting to fill back in, and higher up the mountain it's starting to get thicker. I'm going to probably go up a little higher and see what it looks like. Looking out towards the Allegheny Highlands, out towards the west, you can see House Mountain right there directly ahead. That's North Mountain over in that direction, and right over there is Green Hill. I climbed a little higher up the rock face. Check out that awesome view. It just keeps getting better the higher we go up the mountain. Guys, this slide still continues a significant distance further uphill, but the vegetation is starting to get very thick, so I don't think I'm going to climb any higher. You can see the summit of the mountain is just up there, probably a half a mile or less in straight line distance. And there are some more views from some other rocks up closer to the summit, and I actually would like to climb up there someday, but even though it's not that far, with this steep terrain, it's just going to take a while to get up there, and unfortunately today I don't have that kind of time. Probably decide whether I will head into the trees and try to walk down through the woods, or if I will just butt scoot back down this rock slide the way I came up. But I'm going to take a short break here and then start heading back down the mountain. Okay, so I've opted to just go back down the mountain more or less the same way I came up. Seems like it'll be easier and definitely faster than going through the woods. This was about the steepest section right here. Alright guys, made it all the way back to the base of the rock face, back down to that little creek, and just going to head off into the woods here. I'm going to completely avoid that little gorge this time, go around that gorge and head downhill towards Belle Cove Creek. Woo! Alright guys, so I'm safely down the mountain and back on the remains of the abandoned Belle Cove Trail. Making my way back towards US 501. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for coming along. As always, I really appreciate all your views and support. And I tell you, there's a whole lot more to see out here on the Pinnacle, so I'm sure I'll be back for some future bushwhacking episodes. Thanks a lot, guys, and as always, I'll see you on the trail.